Hey, okay, so this is kind of spontaneous. I've been talking about doing this live for a few days now, and I'm finally getting to it. So I am going to share with a few friends if I can. I don't know how. Where are you? Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get to it because it's not letting me tag anyone, or invite anyone. Oh, there we go. There's some invitations. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and invite some people, and yeah, and then let's get talking about it, because I think these things need to be said. I think sometimes people take for granted a lot of hard things, and I really think that despite the challenges, sometimes we just need that extra push. So I'm gonna try and give it to you guys. So, okay, so the past 2 years, if you guys know, have been absolutely fucking wild. I left my ex. It was very abusive. It was very traumatic leaving him, for both me and Caden. I'm in a very successful relationship right now. We've been together for, shockingly, since 6 weeks after I left my ex. But the biggest thing that caused all of this to happen, you guys, is I started self-care and really honing into my own needs about 3 years ago. When I was pregnant with Caden, I'll start there. When I was pregnant with Caden, I noticed some major challenges with myself mentally. Of course, you guys know, many of you know, I come from an abusive home. I had a very traumatic and abusive childhood. Both biological parents. They both, one served many years in prison and is now a registered sex offender, and one served many years of community service, anger management classes, the whole 9 yards. I don't have a relationship with either one of my biological parents, which makes it that much harder for me to be a very, hey babe, to be a very successful parent, because I do come from such a horrible background. But I want to share with you guys kind of a little bit about why I've come so far and how it's gotten to be where it is. So when I was pregnant with Caden, I began to notice my traumas resurfacing, and that's actually called your inner child coming to light, which usually does happen in hormonal situations. So especially in pregnancy, sometimes when you're close to your period. I used to get rage attacks right before my period. This is something that was really common for me throughout the years. Now, of course, I do have my own health issues, but when it comes to the psychological part, I really think, thank you, I really think that people need to be aware of these. It's difficult to face, I'm not gonna lie. I have spent many days crying, and I've also spent many days praising. And being that I came from such a rough childhood, I naturally needed to give myself a lot more grace than what I really thought I did. So just a little disclaimer, I have been in therapy since I was 5. I now am in 4 therapies. They are each for specific things. I have one specific for relationships. I have one specific for family. I have one specific for facing those inner traumas. And I have one that is more like a mentor, that helps me make good decisions in life, because I don't have that part of my brain working. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort for me to make sure I'm making the right decisions. And because of all of my traumas, my frontal cortex of my brain just naturally shuts off if something happens, or I get triggered, or anything occurs. Even in the mornings, sometimes it's hard for me to just think, okay, I need to get myself some water. And so this person is kind of a mentor, a basic mentor that helps me make sure that I'm staying on routine, make sure that I'm staying and doing things correctly, make sure that if I'm questioning how I'm understanding something, I'm able to ask them and be like, hey, is this like normal for me to feel this way, or am I just overreacting because of my traumas? Because sometimes I just don't know. And so when I was pregnant with Caden, everything came up, and every pregnancy since then, things have come up more and more. This pregnancy is no different. I have realized there are traumas that I have never faced before. I've realized there's traumas I don't even know if I've told people about, because I have been so concerned about my biological parents. There are traumas that occurred with other people within the household that I shared with my biological parents, and this is something I'm working with my lifelong therapist about, just to see where to start, because I don't know where I began. I don't know if I even said anything to her regarding these things, and I really don't know if I didn't say anything to her. It's literally starting from square one. If I did, I kind of have a starting point. It's still close to square one, but at least I know that these things have been said, and it's not gonna fucking terrify me if they've never been said before, because right now it kind of terrifies me. So that's something that we have planned for next week. That's something that's very, very much an active part of my life, and it's something I have no shame in, because frankly I need it. So I wanted to go on here and tell you guys how important it is to have self-care. It's selfless care, in my opinion. When I was pregnant with Caden, and right after my pregnancy, I had extreme severe postpartum psychosis, which typically, for those of you that don't know, postpartum psychosis is when postpartum depression leads to further thoughts. So, for instance, when Caden was like 4 months old, out of nowhere, I had a dream that I murdered him. And it scared the living shit out of me, okay? So, of course, my therapists are all aware of this. This is something that we have to be cautiously aware of, but we are proud of the progress that I've made. And we accept that I've definitely come a long, long way since those days. I no longer have those random triggers. I no longer have those random fearful dreams. Now they're just beautiful birthing dreams and beautiful moments of clarity of, you know, I've truly come so far. So, and it's been years and years and years and years of work. But that's something that happened, and I was terrified, and I couldn't even tell my ex because of the things that he was doing and saying towards me. And so that put a damper on that. Our relationship was already strained when I was pregnant. Because of my complications with my pregnancy, I was on bed rest. There were just a whole bunch of slew of things. So I knew kind of at that time that things weren't going to work out, which completely fine with me. It is what it is. I made a lot of mistakes, and that was one of them, is choosing the father of my child. The first one. My second one is fucking great. He's amazing. I love you, Dylan. But my first one was a complete, yeah. So, and you guys have seen this play out over the years, so it's nothing that's out there. I'm just letting it be and letting it be known. So, anyways, when Caden was 6 months old, first thing I did was I started with doing walks around the neighborhood. I could barely get out of the house because of my depression. Could barely face reality of being outside, honestly, because I was just so terrified. My ex had put it in my head that I was this psychotic person, that I was going to murder my kid, that I was going to be like my own father and molest my kid. I don't fucking know how he got these thoughts in his head, probably because that's what I came from. But statistically showing, I've actually way overcome all of that, like way far beyond. I've actually been recommended multiple times to actually become and work for those who are leaving those types of situations. So that says a lot when a CPS worker says that to you. And of course, having the backup of the therapies and things like that, and the therapists who recognize my strengths and who have been able to testify for me on my behalf about my growth and my progress. So, all that aside, I focused on me, and I knew I needed to be better for my kids. I didn't know how many kids I was going to end up having in my life. I've always prayed for a very large family, but I never knew the depths of it. Because when you're in your therapies, when you're younger, through your traumas, you talk about how things are going to change when you go through new life experiences, but you don't talk about the possibilities because it's so drastically different for everyone. Not everyone has postpartum psychosis like I did. Thank God it's now only down to postpartum anxiety. I don't even qualify for postpartum depression, really. I do have depressive moments, but that's due to my clinical depression, which I'll have lifelong. And of course it's very minimal, thankfully. But that's literally because I'm seeing 4 therapists and I'm on every type of thing that you can think about. And because I take all this time to make sure I'm the best parent that I can be, and in order to be the best parent I can be, I need to do these things for myself so I can present myself to my kids in a way that they're not afraid of, that they can come to and they can tell the scary things to, that they can come to and they can be open with, and it takes a lot of work. So, after I left my ex, it was crazy as hell. Of course we had every agency on us, sheriffs, CPS, healthy families, everyone, you name it, you claim it. If it's in this county, I probably have a case or had a case with them, okay? So, which tells you a lot. And of course, all backed me up. Everyone sided with me. Everyone saw the progress. I still have communication with healthy families just for my own sake, because as much as I find it that it's kind of frustrating from time to time, I do see the accountability in it, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm glad that I have that person that I can, it's kind of like a sponsor if you're an addict. So it's nice to have that. It's, whether I like it or not, all days, sometimes it's nice to just have that closure and that security. And plus it helps me benefit in court, so why not? So, I have been working really, really hard for years now on being and focusing on the selfless care that I needed for me, because it wasn't for me. The care that I've given to my family, and the care that I've given to my kids, and the care that I've given in my pregnancies, and you guys have seen the differences between my pregnancies, even with this one having its complications that it has, I think you can see the difference in my ability to handle the emotions through it. A lot of that is simply because I have done so much selfless care that frankly, I don't give a flying fuck about what people have to say about me. And frankly, I know I've done a lot more work than a lot of other people are willing to even look in the fucking mirror and do, because hello, my ex. So, it is what it is. And without doing all of this selfless care, without putting myself first to be able to say, I need to be able to look into the mirror and say, I am these things. I am worthy. I will do this. I am worthy of that job regardless of what you fucking say about me. And all those claims that you made about me, yeah, here's a big one to say, flying fuck you. So that's a huge part of why I do all of this self-care. It does take a lot of dedication. It does take a lot of time. It started with devotionals, daily devotionals, like 5 minutes a day. Then it started with I am statements. I have a huge binder full of I am statements that I've made over the years. Then it progressed into journaling, and then it progressed into meditating again and praying that way. And slowly but surely, it's progressed into different activities because life has changed a little bit. Things are a little bit different now than they were 3 years ago, obviously. And of course, with each pregnancy, I have different limitations. So while I can't go out and I can't train for my triathlon like I used to prior to Caden, now I can still focus and hone in on doing things that are within the home, within my bed, even sometimes at my desk or on my chair, to just relax and be able to identify those self-care needs, and then work through them. And then of course doing my therapies and things like that. But you guys, you truly, I cannot stress it enough. I don't care if you take 2 minutes a day, spend an extra 2 minutes a day in the bathroom watching a video that you want to watch for you so that you can grow, learn, do whatever. Go watch the fucking video. I promise you're fucking worth it, okay? It's hard. Us as mothers especially, we don't give ourselves that gratitude that we need, and we need to take it more seriously, because I can tell you all the testimonies that have happened since I started my self-care journey, and it has truly changed my life. Truly. I know there's no way in the world I am the same Brittany I was 3 years ago. I'm a little bit more confident. Some call it cocky. I call it confidence. I'm a little bit more straightforward because I don't have time for other people's bullshit. I'm very much still me, and I don't have any shame whatsoever. I don't have regrets whatsoever. And I can tell you, years ago I had plenty of regrets. Plenty. I couldn't even face myself in the mirror. So take the time that you need to do whatever it is that you need to do. I don't care if it's you dye your hair once fucking month or 6 months. I don't care if it's you do your nails every 2 weeks or 2 months. I don't care if it's you watch a 2-minute video while you're in the bathroom. You need to fucking do it. Because your selfless care is going to be what grows you. It's going to be what helps you see where you need to work on. And it's going to help you learn to not feel shame towards yourself. And if there's anything I have learned through my testimonies, it's to not have any shame whatsoever regarding any of my past. Any of it. Good, bad, ugly. I don't have any shame. Bring it to me. Because I promise you, I'll acknowledge it, and I'll say, and you know what, I've done better since then. So, take the time to do what you need to do, so that way you can face yourself in the mirror, and you can say, but I am worth it. My worth goes far beyond what anyone else in this world thinks about me. It's funny because it's 3:33 right now, too. And if you guys don't know, 3:33 is a huge number for growth. And it's kind of ironic. And on the way home today, I found a gray feather, which a gray feather specifically is another huge sign of your testimonies coming to life. And everything that I've been praying about and saying and hoping for and screaming at every fucking person, it's definitely coming to light, and I don't have to do jack shit. I'm just letting it be. For this new company that I'll be working for, I was recommended by one person. I was going through kidney issues during it. Out of thousands and thousands and thousands of positions that I could have applied for, I was only able to physically apply for 3. It's been 2 weeks now and I've got my second interview, and I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to get it. And my pay, my starting pay, is pennies less than what it was prior at the other company that I left. Now you tell me, is that a testimony or not? And what did I do? I sat back. I let things work out. For months I didn't know what was going to happen. For months I questioned, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Okay, we'll cut back here, we'll cut back here. We cut back about $400 in bills. And we made it work. Because my health comes first. And this position allows me to have my health be priority. It allows me to have amazing insurance because it's through a health insurance company that I'll be a representative of. And it allows me to work from home so I don't have to be away from my kids. And it's good fucking pay. Everything that I have worked for to get to here has all been fucking worth it. None of it has been easy. I have cried plenty and plenty of days. Yesterday I had a breakdown too. And I've had happy tear breakdowns. But I know at the end of the day, it's all going to work itself out. And I know that without a doubt, there's going to be no return. Everything on my dream board that I have currently is going to be accomplished. Right now, we are 3 things away from accomplishing everything. And I just wrote that dream board like months ago. This is the 4th dream board in 4 years that I've accomplished now. That's a huge fucking deal. Huge fucking deal. And it takes a lot of effort. And it takes a lot of guts. And it takes a lot of fucking courage, you guys. It's scary as hell. Some of the things that I see, and I'm like, how in the world did I come from that? What in God's name was I fucking thinking when I did that? You mean to tell me that at 16, that's my train of thought? Oh, hell no, girl, no. Nuh-uh, no. If I had known the things that I know now 10 years ago, God, you guys, the amount of grace I could have given myself. I gave myself a lot of grace. But God, there are so many things I did not know that I was going to have to go through. There are so many things I did not know that I was going to have to face. So many fears. Fears, okay? Fears that I didn't know where I was going to live at one point. I didn't know how I was going to eat. I didn't know how I was going to feed my kid. All I knew is I had to get away from that fucking bastard. That's it. That's all I knew. And I knew, by God's grace, if it was His will, He would provide me with a man that could be his father. And I think He did that. I think He did a pretty damn good job of that. It's taken a lot of work, and it's taken a lot of fucking courage, and it's taken a lot of facing fears to be able to say without a doubt, there is no doubt in my mind that this 4th dream board will be accomplished by this year or next, within a year and a half. There's only 4 things left on it, and those 4 things are major. Land, a home, and you guys can guess the other one. I won't say it because I don't want to piss people off because I'm public. So, but I love you guys, and definitely take the time to do the self-care, because I promise you it is so fucking selfless of you to be able to do that self-care and grow from it, and then to be able to show your future generations just what is capable, because they're going to go a lot further than you. There's no reason, no other reason why my, at the time, 18-month-old would call his father out other than God's grace. I had nothing to do with it. It blew my mind the first time it happened, and it still happens to this day. There's no reason he acted out to the school multiple times and did not know about Caden's reactions to foods if it wasn't for God's grace of knowing that it's going to be all right and it's going to fall into place. It will. I still don't know how. I see my own childhood repeating itself, which is scary as fuck. But I know because I've already survived it, and I know that because I've already come out as strong as I have been with all the therapies that I've gotten, which Caden is in about half of those therapies already, I have no doubt that my kid is going to surpass me. None in my mind. And I have no doubt that my other kids are going to follow suit. And then our generations are going to keep coming forward, and they're going to say thank you for stopping all the bullshit in the family. Because there's a lot of things that I didn't know that have come out that are fucking sickening. And it blows my mind. But I know, without a doubt, grace is behind me, love is behind me, will and courage are behind me. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that we will, in time, if it's God's will, overcome all the bullshit. Because faith and love and honesty and wholeheartedly loving everything you do, including your fucking self, goes a lot longer than accusations. A lot longer. I don't have any accusations of him. I don't. Everything that I have as physical proof has already been documented. And I can show it. My only accusation was that I needed to get the fuck out of there, and there's a cop call the night that I left, so that shows it. And I'm still in the process of letting it all go because, guys, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing for me still. And I'm still recovering from it, and I'm okay with that. So, I have been on here way longer than I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys can take this for what you will. And I hope that no matter what, you see my message. And I hope that you can take this and remember that selfless care is completely valid. You deserve it. If you need a cheerleader, message me, comment, let me know. I got you, boo. I got you, okay? It's not going to be easy. We're probably going to cry a lot, okay? I cried a lot. I still cry a lot. There's going to be times that you fucking scream, and you can scream. It's all valid. All of it. Every last fucking bit of that is valid. But you're fucking worth it, okay? So, I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. And I hope that no matter what, you take into consideration things that I have shared and the testimonies that I've shared, and you allow that your life can change too. If you're open to it, it'll happen. It's hard. It's not easy work. That's why a lot of people don't do it. But it's fucking worth it. And I will be your cheerleader all you fucking need to. Love you guys.